confident behavioral detective work. If you've ever felt completely stuck trying to read someone's true feelings, you are in exactly the right place. We are going to decode those subtle, subconscious signals that reveal if someone genuinely likes you, even when your own brain is trying to convince you there's absolutely no way. So let's just jump right in.
Now, what's really interesting here is how perfectly this captures a totally universal human experience. They like me not. We've all plucked those metaphorical flower petals, right? It's so incredibly relatable. You hang out with someone, and the next thing you know, it's 2 a.m., you're staring at the ceiling, and you're just endlessly replaying these tiny, everyday interactions. Did they mean it that way? Or wait, why did they avoid me there? You know, the anxiety of just not knowing, it can be absolutely exhausting.
And that really brings us to the ultimate question. Are you overthinking it? Honestly, you might easily convince yourself that someone can't stand you, when the reality is literally the exact opposite. I want to reassure you right now, you are definitely not alone in this struggle. Human behavior is, frankly, like a giant puzzle. But the good news, we have some fantastic psychological clues to help us solve it. By the end of this explainer, we are going to completely demystify these interactions for you.
Okay, let's dive into this. Act 1. The psychology of proximity.
This right here is our very first dossier as behavioral detectives. We're going to look really closely at how people subconsciously manage the physical space around them. Because long before anyone even says a single word, the way they position themselves relative to you, well, it speaks volumes. And this brilliantly illustrates our very first sign. They try to close the gap. It sounds almost too obvious, right? But you'd be shocked how easily this gets missed in the moment. If someone likes you, they just naturally want to be physically closer to you. You might notice them constantly hovering around in the corner of your eye. Maybe they intentionally take your exact walking route. Or, look for those little micro movements, like moving blocking objects out of the way, sliding a coffee plate over on a table, or shifting a throw pillow on the couch, just to remove that physical barrier between the two of you. It's this deep, subconscious drive to just eliminate distance.
And this physical positioning, it totally extends to how they move with you. When someone likes you, they're going to naturally want to walk right beside you, matching your pace. Why? Well, because walking next to someone makes it just so much easier to talk, to hold eye contact, and to really build a connection. Contrast that with someone who's just walking straight in front of you. If they're leading the charge and not really checking back, they're probably just focused on where they're going, rather than actually engaging with you.
But as good detectives, we always have to consider the exceptions, right? So here is the shy exception. What if they walk slightly behind you? Now, your first instinct might be to think this means they're disinterested or just lagging behind. But actually, scratch that. It can be a massive indicator that they do like you. They are simply too shy or intimidated to step right up and walk shoulder to shoulder with you. They still fundamentally want to be in your orbit, they just kind of lack that immediate confidence to match your stride.
Let's move on and see how this builds. Act 2. Subconscious body language. So we're shifting our focus from the macro level of proximity, the general distance, down to the micro level physical tells. These are those subtle, automatic movements that people literally cannot easily control, which makes them incredibly reliable clues for us. The big thing here is open body language. Here's a quick, rapid-fire checklist for your next conversation. Do they tilt their head when you speak? Are they leaning in when you guys are laughing? Maybe unconsciously playing with their hair or standing with their hands on their hips, which actually subtly exposes the stomach area. It's a vulnerable posture that shows they're totally open to you. But the most massive indicator of the whole bunch? Look at their feet. Seriously, our feet are usually the very first body part to point where we want to go. If their feet are pointed right at you, even if their upper body is turned slightly away, that is a huge subconscious signal that they want your attention and want to be closer to you.
Moving right along to sign number 4. Have you ever noticed someone suddenly sitting up super straight the second you walk into a room? You might see that and misinterpret it as them feeling on edge or rigid or maybe uncomfortable around you. But honestly, that's usually not the case at all. More often than not, it means they are subconsciously trying to show off their best features. By straightening up that posture, they look a little bit taller, broader, and just more impressive. So that perceived stiffness, it's actually just them trying to impress you. Okay, and now for something truly fascinating. I like to call this the blinking paradox. It sounds a little bizarre, I know, but your blinking rate is actually deeply tied to how you're feeling on the inside. It's one of those automatic physiological responses we almost never think about, but it offers this crystal clear window into someone's subconscious feelings.
Here's the science behind it, and this is supported by research from Psychology Today. Normally, when we're super anxious or uncomfortable, we actually blink more. Blinking basically acts as this tiny micro barrier to block out things we don't want to see. Therefore, if a person is blinking noticeably less around you, That is a brilliant sign that they like you. It's literally their brain's subconscious way of refusing to miss a single second of looking at you. They physically don't want to close their eyes and miss a detail. All eyes are on you.
Which brings us to sign number 6, the eyebrow flash. I want you to pay very, very close attention the exact moment you greet this person next time. What is a weird, instinctive thing people do when they're genuinely happy? Things go up. Specifically, people instinctively raise their eyebrows when they are happy and genuinely excited to see someone. It's this super quick, split-second, subconscious flash of the eyebrows, usually paired with a smile. It is so incredibly easy to overlook, but if you consistently catch that quick eyebrow raise when you say hello, that is a fantastic, genuine indicator of their positive feelings towards you.
And finally, the verdict, your self-worth.
As we reach our final section here, I want to consciously slow down our cinematic pace just for a second. We've spent this whole explainer zooming in on micro-expressions and walking speeds and blinking rates. But now, it's time to zoom all the way back out and look at the biggest picture of all. Here is the absolute truth. Whether someone returns your feelings or not is never your fault. We can analyze body language until we are literally blue in the face, but someone else's internal feelings are not a reflection of your inherent value. It's so easy to get caught up in the emotional flip-flop of trying to decode someone's mind, but at the end of the day, the affection that matters the absolute most is the affection you give to yourself. You absolutely have to love yourself first. Which really leaves us with one final provocative question. Do you have anyone in mind right now? Think about those interactions that have been keeping you up at night. Armed with these brand new psychological tools, from, tracking their proximity and the direction of their feet, to catching that super subtle eyebrow flash, do you feel better equipped to decode their true feelings? Take these insights, use them to cut right through that anxiety, and hey...